Hello and welcome to episode 16, I think.
So
16 of the Long Distance Stitchers. I'm Megan.
I am also Megan.
Megan is not at home right now, so we don't get her basement craft room.
My craft board. Then you get this nice yellow sunny.
Yeah,
sunny.
it is a nice room.
Yeah, it is a good room.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We've been very busy, so this is a bit of a delayed video for us, but yeah, it'll be fine.
Megan, if you don't know, was in Europe.
I was in Europe. I saw Bruce Springsteen
She went on
3
a grand
times.
life.
It was great.
In
And
3 different countries.
different countries. I followed him around Europe for 2 weeks, and it was amazing. And it was very hot, and I was just like new city each day, like maybe 1 or 2 nights in each place, and then on to the next. And it was a very good trip. It was very exhausting. I was very tired when I got home, but it was amazing. So.
I'm glad you had a good time.
And I did a tiny bit of stitching while I was away, not a lot, which you guys will see in a minute. Do we want to start with our cards though?
Sure thing.
Yeah, so Megan and I are getting into this tarot thing where we've started
all the cool kids.
We started trading with a few people, and now we're gonna draw our own cards. So for me today, I'm drawing from my Connolly tarot deck, which I got just before the weekend of Stitch North, and then because I thought we were going to be trading and it just didn't happen, but that's fine. And today I have drawn the Six of Cups. And this card is, I just was reading, it's about like memories, so like happy memories from like your childhood or like your teenage years, and just like kind of like going down the nostalgia way and thinking about your life before, which I guess I can kind of see how I've been like doing that lately. Like just thinking about like my life like 10 years ago and how different it was. And like, yeah, I'm getting ready to make a pretty big life change and thinking about like the journey to like where I am now and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling nostalgic. So that makes sense for me.
Yeah. I pulled, so I am currently doing my daily draws from the Stitchers Tarot, which is by Stitch Together. It's really pretty. Here, just on the back, you can see some examples of the cards. And I've really been enjoying using it. And today I pulled the Hierophant. I think that's how you say it.
Card. That's so pretty.
Ask the internet, but it's really pretty. And this card is really about sort of not taking risks and instead seeking guidance from those who have experience, but also maybe, questioning that guidance maybe too, like just like taking it in stride. So that's a really good pull. And the imagery on these cards is just fantastic. So yeah, those are our cards today.
Yeah, mine like the image is very traditional for like what regular
the Connolly tarot is like a classic deck.
Yeah, so. But it's just like very like stained glass medieval style, which I like. So alrighty, are we gonna go into FFOs?
Yeah, so I have a very exciting, very special FFO to share. This is the world premiere of Quirky Quaker Revenge Orca. So if you are a fan of Deanna and Quirky Quakers like we are, you all have seen her putting hints that she is going to be releasing a Quirky Quaker in honor of Gladys and the other orcas who are out there doing the good work and toppling all those yachts. So I offered to model stitch it for her and she jumped on board, and so here it is. It was a delight to stitch. Those little yachts, just like perfect, and that orca, so of course, fantastic. So Deanna is releasing this tomorrow. So today is July
6.
6th, a Thursday. So she's releasing it tomorrow, July 7th. And she will be giving the proceeds to part of the proceeds to Oceans Canada, I believe it is. So it is a charity chart, and I think she will only have it available for a limited time. So if you need this orca in your life, please make sure to jump on and get that when it is released tomorrow. So cute.
I definitely need that.
Thank you for letting me stitch it, Deanna. Okay, and I have a few other finishes to share. So I am participating in the lovely lunar swap hosted by Heather at Link is my homeboy on Instagram. And so we had deadlines for our stitching. And so we had to have it started by June 1st and finished by June 30th. And so I have both started and finished this since we last met. And here, I don't have it with me. So here's a picture. You can see our Zoom reflection. Sorry, I'm not sure. It is what it is today, folks. But so this is Night Signs. It is a pattern from Tiny Monitors. It's a booklet with 4 charts in it. So 4 of these squares. I did a bit of a color conversion because the person who I'm sending to indicated that they were not a big fan of purple, and this has purple, so I put some pinks in there. And I used a mix of the Call for DMCs and some hand dyed by Rolanda to give it a bit of interest. It's blowing out because of the light, but the moon I did in like a light mottled gray white, so it looks moonier than just the called for white, I think. And this was a delight to stitch, other than the fact that I stitched it on a 36 count black linen because I hate myself. So, but I really enjoyed working on it once I got into the rhythm of the linen. And it went together really fast, relatively, right? I started on June 1st, and then I didn't work on it until June 28th, I want to say. And then, so I put that together really quick. The FFO of it has to go out by the end of the month, so that'll be no problem. I already have my plan for it. So I will take photos and maybe video of it before I send that out, because I suspect it will already be on its way before the next time we meet. And then I also, you are probably aware of the Stitch for Sage hashtag going on in support of Sage at Night Spirit Studio while she is undergoing cancer treatment. And so I wanted to participate in that, but because I had a couple other big starts this month, which you will see, I didn't want to start a whole project. So instead I decided to take a page out of Natty and Kaylee's book and do some tiny stitching. And so I picked from the Witchcraft woodcut just this little demon, and I stitched him just using 1 strand of floss 1/1 on it's either a 40 count or a 36 count. It's not going to focus very well, but there, that's better. He turned out super cute. I definitely see why they recommend to use a finer floss than just the standard cotton, because some of those details do become a little muddy, but I will get to that point later. I love them so much. And I decided this is just on an ornament cut from Fortnite fabric. So it's just a 9x9 square. And I'm just going to make my own tiny spot sampler with motifs and things that I like, but that I don't necessarily want to do the whole pattern. And I'll just continue adding things to it until it is full. And I think that will be a fun way to, dabble with the tiny stitching and to just, stitch some things that I want to stitch, but I don't necessarily need the whole thing or things like that. So that's my plan. And then I have a start and a finish. So at Stitch North, we got a little freebie from Brandon Needle and Darlene and Whimsy Designs called Here We May Be Free, and it's a mermaid tail. And Brandon Needle provided the fabric and the floss for it. So this is my finish of Here We May Be Free. So it's stitched, this is an 18 count Rocky Shores Ada from Brennan Needle, and the floss is Land and Sea, and so I stitched it 1/1 on that 18 count, played with the variegation to get the stripes going in the same way and things like that on the tail. I love it a lot. The pattern calls for it to say Stitch North 2023 here, but again, I'm not sure you can read it in person, but I don't know. I'm filming off my iPad. I'm not used to this. But I just added Here We May Be Free in there instead of the Stitch North 2023 because I just really liked it. It comes from a poem from Ulysses and the Siren by Samuel Daniel is where Deanna got that title from. So
I didn't know that.
I love this. And I know Deanna has also reworked this chart to be a little bit bigger to go in an Under the Seas fabric box. Which I guess that's a spoiler, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think
feel
she
like it's
talked
pretty
about it.
public knowledge. Yeah.
Did she talk about it on her Patreon or on
Yeah.
Instagram?
I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry to anybody who's getting that box. It looks different.
Yeah, it's actually
fine.
like,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
it's
not like the same thing.
Yeah. And then my last finish, if you recall, I started this when we were at Stitch North. This is Spring's Promise by Jessie and Miss Slade Pages. It's their very first chart and it's amazing. And why am I showing you that picture when I can show you my finish? So this is stitched on a 32 count fabric called Renewal, which is hand dyed by Jessie. The pattern, the fabric, the floss came from the 2023 February Birb box, carefully curated by Jessie themselves. The floss is all the called for dinky dyes. And this was a pleasure to stitch. That border, I'm telling you, I'm not a big fan of borders. This border was pure delight to stitch. Those little swirls are so repetitive and easy to follow that it just you just fly through it. The irises are fantastic and those swans are perfection. Like this is a first chart, folks. First chart. And Jessie is working on their third chart soon to be released. So, keep your eyes out. This was in the Bird box, but Jessie did release extras on their website. So the pattern is available. I'm not sure if they still have floss packs, but I'm sure they would happily put one together. They sell the dinky dyes. And then
again, they had them. They do.
There are still some cuts of fabric left, but they probably won't last very long. So if you really want the fabric from Jessie, which is amazing, I have this whole other half to use on something else, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, go check out their website. It's missladepages.com. And that is all of my finishes. I had a very productive month after feeling like I haven't been very productive for a little while. I mean, productivity is a scam anyway, but I'm very pleased. And you will see some even more exciting progress when we get to our loops too.
Yeah.
Over to you, Megan.
Okay, so I have 2 FFOs, which are both journal pages, because I felt inspired earlier this month to do some journaling. And these 2 I had sitting in a pile for like a while, and I knew I wanted to do them as journals. So I just sort of got around to it. So I did my Strawberry Dreams, which is a Barbara Anna design, which I finished at Stitch North. And then Song of Nowruz, which is by Marumi Designs, Miriam, which I finished last month as well, I believe. And then I cut out some paper, and this is a day planner, so like there's like writing on the pages. So I just like put like scrapbook paper down, and then picked out some stuff that I like.
They look so good.
And then this page is actually like it's like a big sticker, and it's the exact right size for these pages, which is amazing. It was from like Dollarama or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so then I just cut out these butterflies from a birthday card that my aunt sent me because it felt springy and like all that stuff. And this is actually this square is from the needle minder that Allie gave us. I just like cut off the part of it and then wrote on it because
nice.
It's a perfectly fine little square of paper.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And then this is a pom-pom trim that I got from Michael's because I really like the yellow and the pink with this fabric. I thought it looked really good.
Yeah, it offsets it really nicely. This
is just like a bit of ribbon. I forget where it came from, but I made it into a bow, and there you go. Which like it doesn't really close, but like whatever. It's gonna be,
We've all seen Michelle's. They're not
yeah.
meant to be at the end,
I'm not
right?
concerned
They're
about like
they're just
fitting it
an
into
open book.
anything at any point. It's just kind
Yeah,
of, yeah.
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 It will just grow and grow as you add more. Fantastic finishes.
Purple and pink, my two favorite colors.
Mm-hmm.
So those were my FFOs, and then I had one actual finish, which we saw in the last video. All I had left to do was fill in this teacup, and it took me about 2 hours, and I did it. So this is completely done.
Looks so good.
Yeah. And
Are you
then,
gonna tell the folks?
so we said in the last video, Megan asked me if I was going to stitch coffee on the same piece of fabric, and I was like, yeah. And then I realized that I didn't have enough because I gave myself too much of a border over here, and it's not going to be enough. So I went the other way, and I started the coffee on that side. And I think because when I'm looking at it now, I'm like, I don't really want to stitch that coffee cup. Like, it's huge. It's not really that exciting, but I loved the word coffee and like the beans underneath it. So I think I'm just gonna do that. And then I'll just like finish this and have coffee like hanging off of it or something. Something like that. And then
You'll
just
figure it out.
Yeah. So now we're into starts. So this is my my start on coffee, and I did the top part of the word. Yeah. So that's my first start of the month. And my only like finish, really. All right, more starts.
Mm-hmm. What else did you start this month, Megan?
Started a lot of things. Oh my God.
Yeah, just a couple.
Been a big starting month. So two things that I started because I knew I was going to be traveling, and I wanted like easy travel projects. So I made little kits of a couple things. The first was this Flamingos All the Way by Hands On Design. And it is I'm doing it kind of as part of Flamingo Summer Sal, which is a Roz Clark craft brainchild. And I started it while I was traveling, so I'm just putting on my clips. So I'm just stitching it in hand, and I did 3 flamingos. 3 little flamingos. I fully convinced myself that I would like finish this while I was away.
You were gonna finish a few things while you were away, if I recall.
I was like, maybe I didn't bring enough things to stitch on. Yeah, no. Because, at the end of the day, you're just tired. You don't want to.
Yep, our brains get away from us, right?
Yeah. And then the next one that I started, I don't have a cover picture here, was yep, there we go. This bear from Canadian Stitchery, and it's a wood kit, and I stitched on this for quite a while, actually. I'm pretty close to.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much more.
It's almost half done, I would say, right now. So yeah, and this was good. This was easy to stitch on, especially on the train, because it was like I didn't have to, not too many things to hold.
Big holes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Although I'm noticing there was some charting differences between what the holes on the wood are and what the chart says. So I kind of had to use my judgment and be like,
little.
I don't know why I wouldn't fill in this stitch that's here. It's gonna look weird if it's empty. But anyway, that's fine. These things happen. And then what else did I start? So I had I had a bit of a FOMO because I kept seeing more and more people working on this. And I was like, I really just need to work on that. I've had it kitted up for so long, blah, 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 telling myself, do the things. And so I started it like yesterday, I think, 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. And it's Sailor's Delight by these 20 Stitches.
Oh, dreamy.
And he's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And all I have started so far is the star and then a little bit of this cloud.
Those fractional stitches.
They're tricky. And also
Mhm.
the the model is different. It's because I was trying to compare it to see if I was doing it right. And then I was like, oh no.
Oh,
Maybe
like the cover photo is different?
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because like there's the reds meet in the middle and on the cover photo they don't. So
Okay.
that may have just been a choice.
Okay.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. Because I was like, let me just look at what it's supposed to look like, and then I was like, oh, it doesn't look good.
These things happen.
Again, that's fine. Okay. And then I started. Okay, so everyone is reading Fourth Wing, or has read it, has finished it,
Okay.
um, and are reading it or listening to it for like the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. And I read it on my trip. I got a copy from Libby. I was on a hold list, and then I got like a skip the line copy, which is only good for like a week or whatever. But I finished it in 3 days.
It's fine. You don't need a week to read.
You don't
that
need
book.
a week. Yeah, exactly. I could have read it
You
twice.
need one solid afternoon, really.
Yeah, and then I finished it on my 7-hour flight home, and like landed and was like furiously texting my friends, being like, "What?" Because it's a crazy end.
Right?
And then I really wanted to stitch dragons because we love dragons. And there is a cell, I think it just ended actually, called the Dragons and Apples cell. And again, I don't have the cover photo. What is wrong with me?
We're super prepared, folks.
So I had been seeing this on Instagram, and I was like, oh, it's really pretty. Like I like it, but it's a lot of black. Not really like fun, like just a lot of fill in, a lot of black. And I was like, will I do it? I don't know. But then after the whole dragon thing, I was like, I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna make the dragons from Fourth Wing. So I started in the bottom so I could stitch the little dragon, which is gonna be Andarna.
So cute.
And then there's like a girl standing here, so that's gonna be Violet, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just sort of like debating how many. So like I've already started like not like the black is not going to all be black. Some of it will be black, and then I'll just like do other colors as well. But there's like ones that are like leaves and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, am I going to do those black, or am I going to do those like green or like something else? So I'm still kind of figuring out how much I want to change and how much I just want to like stitch the parts that I like and not even worry about the rest. But
yeah, just make it your own. Just do what you want to do with it, right?
and I made her very shiny. Her face and her neck and her tail is Etoile, and then the rest of her body is just like regular DMC because it was a lot, and I was like,
yeah,
all that Etoile. And then the wings are Diamant, which was
nice.
a bit of a hassle, but it looks so good. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing
tell us about your fabric.
Oh yeah, so the fabric is Strawberry Lemonade from Kaylee Ten Stitch, which is the same thing that the Song of Nowruz was on. But this is more of a pink part of it, and then you can see kind of like the yellow. Yeah. But I think it'll look really good with that. It looks so good with the black.
Yeah.
Like when I started stitching the black on it. And I'm just doing one strand of black, so I'm not gonna go through like 7. It called for 7 skeins of DMC, but I was like, A, I'm not doing all of the black as charted, and B, I'm doing one strand. So I'm like, I have like 4 kind of set aside for it, and I feel like that will probably be fine.
You can always get another skein of 310.
I bought 2 more yesterday.
Yeah,
like,
see?
I have so much. I should just get a cone, but you know, I don't. Shipping and whatever.
Yeah. Canada.
So dragons, and I've set aside like so much DMC Etoile for all the shiny dragon parts. And then like obviously I need to do Violet's hair like dark and then like silver in the end. So
yeah.
I'm having fun picking colors and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've already decided what I'm gonna make, which dragons I'm gonna make. Cause like this one is gonna be, I don't know how to, is it Gale? Scale? I don't know. A blue dragon? Satan's dragon? How do you pronounce it? I didn't listen to the book.
I think they say Gale.
They just say
like
Gale. Okay,
like
the
the
S is
wind, right? Like gale, like wind.
yeah, the S is
Yeah,
silent. Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought. And then like the big black one in the middle is obviously
I
Terran.
didn't know there was an S in it.
Oh yeah, so it's Sgaeyl.
Oh,
Is how
Segale,
it's
Segale.
Segale.
Yeah, that must be what it is. I don't know. It's
Okay.
been a couple weeks now since I
Yeah,
listened to it.
because I
Obviously, I
only
need
I
to go back
only
and listen
read
to it
it
again.
and you only listened to it. So,
Mhm.
but anyway, and then this one is gonna be green because there's a couple different green dragons. I haven't really decided which one it is. And then this one I really want to do red for Dane. Is that, yeah. Or
Mhm.
no, what was the dragon called? Anyway,
I forget.
Liam's dragon. Um, but I don't know if I want to stitch the background black. I think I might do it like not negative, like how, yeah, and like fill it in with red and then do the background like, anyway, I don't know.
Just leave the background blank then,
I
right?
think
Let
so,
the
yeah. And then just like do
yeah,
like the stars and like the moon
yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So that's the plan right now. If anybody wants to join in the new dragon Sal that I've started and wants to stitch
Do you
four
need a hashtag?
dragons, yeah,
Fourth wing
please,
Sal?
yes, it's the drag because it's officially called Dragons and Apples, and it's from
Mm-hmm.
Quaternarian Creations. Is that how you say it? It's like it's just on Etsy.
Quaternion?
Quaternarian, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just got it off Etsy. And then if anybody wants to know how I have not charted, but like redone the colors or whatever, so they can join in, let me know, and I will share.
Mhm.
I'm not all about gatekeeping. And also it's not anything official. Like I'm just doing this because I want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my last start, yes, my last start. Oh, I have a list. I should just consult my list. Yes. I started I talked about this last video because I had got the stuff for it and I wanted to start it. And it is this the Scandinavian Quakers in Scandinavia. What was it called? Yes, Quakers in Scandinavia by Tempting Tangles. It's
So
so
cool.
fun. And I really wanted to start that, so I started it this morning. Can't really see it. There we go.
There it is.
Yeah. I started with the mountain range because I had to start right in the middle because my fabric is just like I have
You
a
want to share your
I have an inch and a half border on either side, and then it's longer than it needs to be. So I just needed to be very careful with my, yeah, but yeah, there we go. And this fabric is so beautiful. It's really hard to stitch on. It's very hard to see, especially in like the
Mhm.
darker parts and stitching with like darker thread. And it's
Is
like
it also opalescent?
yeah,
Yeah. So the opalescent, the dark color, the dark thread. Yeah.
it's tricky.
It's
It's a little
fine.
tricky.
It's fine.
And
It
it's
will be so pretty when it's done that
so beautiful.
you will be
And it's
okay
not
with it.
the hardest thing I've ever done. Honestly,
Mhm.
like this is a 32 count, which I think
Yeah.
is about as far as I could go on something like
Mhm.
this, but it's still pretty big.
Yeah.
So it's not horrible, right? And like I'm stitching on 40 count. Like I'm not,
Mhm.
I got this. And that was all my
Mhm.
starts.
Fantastic.
Big month for me.
Yeah. So I had those 4 starts and finishes that you saw. So that's a lot of starts and finishes. But I had 2 more starts this month. So first of all, I started. Where did I put my phone? Here we go. I've been sitting on this one for a while. The Trans Pride Tapestry from
Oh
our
yes.
friends DH20 and Uncanny Kari, and it's blown out. There we go. We all know and love her. She's so beautiful. So I started it earlier this month with our friends Amy and Steph. Or Amy already had started, but Steph and I started it, and Amy joined us to stitch that day. In spirit, in solidarity. But so I have been stitching. So this is a 32 count Sugarlight from Jessie at Mislaid Pages. It is a gorgeous piece of fabric.
Yeah. I've been
Um,
stitching that one too.
yeah. And so I am at this point, I have used the call for DMC 3810 and I have started the outlines. I've made it all the way across, so that's the width of the pattern. And I'm going to do all the outlines. And then the rest of it will just be like a coloring book. I have not decided, I have not made any decisions about what I'm going to do for the 5,000 white stitches or whatever it is that are make up the body of the unicorn. There's lots of ideas going around. I should have looked up who it was, but somebody on Instagram posted they just finished the outlines and they finished the pattern, right? They're letting their fabric speak for itself. They also used a very beautiful fabric and just did the outlines, which I like that idea, but I also really like the colors that are in it, right? Because it's trans pride, right? And so if you then don't put in the trans colors, right? So I don't think I'm going to do that, even though it's very tempting, because even the outlines alone are thousands and thousands of stitches. But yeah, so she started. I'm going to keep working on her, and you will see what I do when I figure out what I'm going to do with it. And then my other start this month, I started on my birthday the summer Quaker from Leela's studio. So here's just a picture of it because I don't have a printed out copy. You can see it double because of the reflection, but that's fine. And it's blowing out as well. I don't know. But you get the gist, right? So Quaker's on the outside, this bit in the middle, it says live in the sunshine, swim in the sea, drink the wild air. And so I'm stitching this on. It is 18 count from Kaylee Tent Stitch, the sewing shop. 27.5 shades of gray is what it's called. And it's perfect.
That's the one you got.
Yeah, I had been struggling to figure out what fabric I was going to use. And I have been contemplating messaging Kaylee and asking her to custom dye me something. And then this showed up for my fabric of the month last month. And so I've just made a start. Putting it in. The pattern calls for DMCs, so I'm just stitching it in all the called for DMCs. I had thought about changing up some of these blues to variegated ones, but I didn't have variegated ones in my stash that sort of matched the tone, so I just left it as is. This is a big project, so it's a long-term project, but the bit that I have done so far has been really fun to stitch. This is just 2 days of work, so I need to definitely get back to it and put in more stitches, but that is summer Quaker. So that's it. That's my starts. I started 6 things this month and finished 4 of them, and 2 of them are going to be with me probably for a few years. So that is what it is. But you can see from those 2 big projects why I did not start another. I mean, the woodcuts from Night Spirit Studio aren't huge, but they're definitely not small either, right? Like they're solidly a middle-sized project. So I just put that little demon, and the point was to show support, and one demon versus all the demons is still support.
I looked at their stuff because I was debating getting something, but I didn't already have any of her designs, and then I was like, I don't know which one I would do, and like, do I really want to?
She has a lot of good designs. There's lots of good
really good.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna get one, and I'm definitely gonna start stitching on it, but it just might not be like
you haven't decided yet. Yeah,
during the sound, but it's fine.
I think it's an ongoing sound. I don't think it's a time limited thing.
Yeah,
so.
probably. Yeah. If I know Cancer, once you get it, you got it for a while.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, hopefully she will be with us for many, many years to come. But yeah, definitely isn't going to be a quick, like 2 weeks and you're out type of situation. So. Yeah. Moving on to whips.
What else have you worked on this month?
I worked on quite a few things. So I worked on, before I left, I worked on my natural world style. So I'm gonna share the page.
Should I show mine at the same time?
Sure. There we go. So this is the new section that we just got. Is it showing up?
Yeah, but if you switch to the other document she sent, it's got the full.
Yeah. This
one? Down there. Okay. Yeah.
So that's the whole thing as it is now. So we just got this section with like the bamboo and the birbs. I love
Mhm.
these birds. I think they look
Right,
so cool. And
right.
obviously there's going to be like a row going all the way across, which I'm kind
Hmm.
of excited for. But yeah, so that's the whole thing as it is right now. So I am basically caught up to what I believe was March, because I'm here. I'll stop sharing. So I did this part, and then I did my Monstera. So that was the end of like February.
That's so the first
This was
third is
January. Yeah.
January. The second third is February. So you've done January, February, you're working on March.
Yeah, I'm working on March. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's July. It's fine.
Oh, it's totally fine.
But yeah, I had these beetles done last time, and then I did all of this. I did
Mhm.
these mountains, this water maybe, and then all of this border. Oh, I think I only had 4 beetles done last time. I did all of these beetles. Yeah.
Yeah, you did a lot.
Yeah. And then I just have a
Mhm.
couple more letters, and then this part, and then this obviously
Mhm.
is like the same over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, like that.
So I actually followed through on one of my plans and I really buckled down and got myself caught up through June. Um, so I forget exactly where I was when we talked, but I think I was still finishing off March when we last filmed. And then, so I finished off March and then I plowed my way through April, May, and June all together, which it was really nice because I could just carry everything across because I had the full
Yeah.
row. So there wasn't starting and stopping and things like that, which was
Mhm.
helpful. I did a little bit extra on those paws just to finish off the strands that I was working with after
Nice.
confirming with Christy. I think I asked her something like, if I were to continue stitching the paws the way they are charted above, would that be correct? And she
Yeah.
said, yeah. So I put those
Yeah.
in there. And then, yeah, so I'm definitely going to do July in July. That's, I think, what I'm going to do once I am home and with my full setup at home with my light and things on this 56 count. I don't want to attempt it here. And so, yeah, I will just
Mhm.
continue making that progress. And then hopefully, now that I am caught up, stay on top of it, be a little less squirrely and a little more focused um, on this. And I also teased Christy that she somehow made that dense border even denser. So the tulips were for spring, the sunflowers were for summer, and I haven't read it. I don't know if she says anything, but it looks like you're getting a winter border with the like the pine
Uh,
needles and the snowflakes. But it definitely, there are even more stitches in there, I think,
yeah.
than the other borders,
And
which is
like
fine.
less
Um,
space. Yeah.
less space.
Whatever.
Totally fine. We love it. But it's a chunky border.
It
Very nice.
is. It's been fun to stitch, and I'm glad I'm doing it. And I'm
Mhm.
glad I'm pushing myself. So like mine is, I don't know if I said mine's 40 count, and I'm just doing one strand of silk,
Yeah.
which is like perfect coverage. I think it looks amazing. And I love my
Yeah, it looks really good.
I love how your blue is coming out actually. Your light
I have been
blue.
playing with it a lot.
Yeah.
So I actually had somebody ask me if it was one color or two. It is one color,
Hmm.
but what I'm doing is I'm picking the darker parts for the borders and the lighter parts for inside with some like changes. Like I specifically used darker
Oh, I
color on
love
the
that.
jellyfish.
Yeah.
I'm doing the quote in the darker blue,
Mhm.
and I did the DNA strand in the darker blue as well.
Like
Um,
that. Yeah.
and so yes, I'm just picking and choosing and being kind of purposeful in some places and less purposeful in others. Like for the jellyfish, I purposely picked that dark blue, but for the rest of these motifs, I've just been letting the colors fall
Hmm.
where they may.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited to stitch those birds. And we
Yeah,
will
they
get
look really good.
6 of them, I'm guessing, based on how much we have now. Maybe 7. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as the months unfold, but
It's a mystery.
those are going to be fun little burps.
Yeah.
And more of that DNA. That DNA was really fun to stitch once you got into the rhythm of it, which maybe I'll wait on the DNA part until I have the whole thing, or maybe I'll just make some assumptions and carry it across. We'll see.
Right.
Mhm. What else did you work on this month?
What else did I work on? What else I have? I don't even know. I'm really bad at saving pictures. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I have. Oh, actually, you know what? I can find it on Instagram. The So I'm working on my Treasure Island Sal.
Mm-hmm.
I have.
Yes, you.
I actually have done quite a bit on this. And this. Okay, yeah. Here we go. This is the latest release. So you have the kid there. What's his name?
You
Jim
know how long it's been.
Jim Hawkins.
There we go.
I was gonna say Will Turner. That's a different pirate movie or
Different.
series, whatever. Yeah. So there we go. And I have pretty much finished the first one, and I'm pretty close to a finish on the second one. So I still have to do my words, the Treasure Island, and then there's like a lantern down here, and then that's parts 1 and 2. That's done. And then I'm gonna move over and do so part 3 is like the ship, and then part 4 is Jim down there. So yeah, I'm not too far behind. And considering it's like a 2-week release rather than like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were gone for a big chunk of time and you did not take that one with you. So
I did all of this before I left and one of these things. And then I did all of these in the last couple of days since I've been home. So yeah.
Looks great.
It's been fun. I'm loving my colors. My variegated floss that I'm using, like this yellow is from my my winter magic box. It's by Fortnite Forbidden Fibers. It's called like Aspen Glow or something, and it's really
beautiful. I love their flosses.
And then this blue is Cosmo from Roxy, which I actually have 2 skeins of now because I bought another one at Stitch Mark because I loved it so much. I was like, and it was in the sale bin there, and I was like, oh, I love this one. I'm gonna get more.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. And some people are like already like caught up on this. There's a lot of people stitching it on Instagram. And I worked on my spring fling while I was away a little bit. So
excellent.
That's from these 20 stitches. And I worked on this at the airport and then a little bit when I was in Germany. So I'm done actually quite a bit. So I finished this. Where's my board? I have this flower I finished, and then I started and finished this flower and this whole section down here.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're further along than I am on that now, I think we determined, because I have not stitched on it since I was in Ontario. So.
Yeah. And this is another one that I'm like stitching in hand, so it's like it's very fast. I feel
the in hand stitching goes very quickly.
And I worked on this one by Sprouting Lupine. I worked on it a little bit more since our last video. So that's this one.
From the Earth Day bundle, but I think a lot of the designers are selling those patterns now separately. So I'm not positive on this one, but
so
if not now, probably
the middle. Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of them come out already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finished a little one in the middle.
It's looking great.
So this is the variegated DMC color. And this is a 14 count printed Ada from Michaels. Like
nice.
Blue, and it's got some green.
Yeah, those ones in the tube.
And then I had my Whipco calls for June that I still had to do before, that I didn't work on. I worked on the fruit one a little bit before I left, and then I finished it when I got back. And so my goal was to do 2 fruits. And so I had already finished um the pineapple and the avocado before, and so I moved over and I did the cherries, and then when I got home I did the orange. So actually I did 3 fruit. I was debating if I was just gonna like leave those 2 and be like it's 2 fruits. But I know it was my own rule that I made that I would work on at least 2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
2 motifs. But yeah. But yeah, I
It's
really
looking
like that
very good.
orange.
Yeah, that orange is really pretty.
Yeah, and the cherries.
Mhm.
So I did those. That was my Wicco. And then my other Wicco was to do 10 hours on, oh, I should show the, very out of practice. It's been a while. So this is what it will look like when it's done. So I still have all these to do. And then she gives you all this stuff to make like a hanging
Yeah.
banner, like comes with like wood dowels and everything.
Mhm.
And
It's so cute.
It's gonna go in my kitchen someday.
When it's done.
And then my other Wicco call was for this Christmas Village by Jenny Van de Weel. And I worked on this for 11 and a half hours. So my goal was 10, but I wanted to finish the part that I was working on.
You got so much done.
I really did. And I needed, so this green color, which we're gonna see in a minute, is I needed it for my Scandinavian Quaker one, and I didn't really want to buy more. So it's this light green here. So I was like looking through my other things, and I was like, I've got to have that somewhere. And I was like, oh, if I just stitch this entire pond right now, then I can just put that color in the other bag and not even. And there's still like the chimneys of the houses. That's those, but it's like 2 stitches. So I left like the strands that I had.
Yeah.
Like in the bag, and it'll be more than enough. It's fine. And then I put the rest of it in. So yeah, I finished this. So I did these fences. I did this entire shop, and the snow was already there in this tree. And then I did this and this little snow, and then this entire pond, this tree, and then these 2 fences.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Wow. I haven't done any of the back stitching yet. Like it's supposed to say like school. And,
you
like,
can do it at the end.
There's a lot, and like right, like I don't want it's gonna get snagged. Like
yeah.
Almost. I feel like this is like the halfway point about.
Yeah, but it goes all around, right?
This is the end. This is the end of it this way. There's like another tree or something here, and then that's the end.
It looks so good.
Yeah. Not really Christmas in July or Christmas in July, but Christmas in June, I guess. I'm not doing any Christmas stitching in July this year. Are you doing any Christmas?
I honestly have 0 concrete plans for myself. I'm just, yeah, I'm resisting starts. That's my only plan. Resist starts, work on things I have.
Yeah, that is all my whips. Done.
Nice. Okay, so I already showed you my natural world, and I showed you all those other projects I stitched, and so I only have one thing left to share, which is it's been a minute, but it is my Temperature Birds Sal art, my Chaos Birbs from Dr. Christie's Corner designs, and if you recall, the last time you saw it would have been in March, right? And so I was up here, March wasn't done, and so I've finished March, April, May, and June. So I'm all caught up to the end of June. I have my line for July, and so at the end of this week, I will start putting in July birds, and I'm going to attempt again to stay caught up. It was going really well when I was doing it every week, and then I traveled a lot and I fell behind, and
Yeah.
then I traveled a lot more. Honestly, is what it is.
Mhm.
And so all these beautiful birds. You can tell we have had a very hot spring, and the trend will continue in July. It's quite warm. I've put in all these doodads in H-wall. You probably can't see. I made my pinata a rainbow. I made my sneakers blue. These little vines, it's all in A12. This little squirrel, I think I'm gonna find an acorn pattern to stitch maybe 1/1 there so he can be holding a little acorn because there's a space there and he should have a snack.
Mhm.
But this is really fun to stitch. I would not recommend falling 3 months behind because then it's a lot of verb stitching. Although it was also, I did one page and then the other page all the months, and just right, like I had
Yeah.
all the temperatures, so I just picked a color, did all the color that I needed to in that, and then carried on. So
Mhm.
it is enjoyable. I do not think I will ever do another temperature style again, because while I love this, I'm not convinced that it's my thing
Yeah.
to keep up with, right? So
Right, like,
I
I
really like the
have
pattern,
really
like I
liked
like
some
the
of them, but
birds,
then
so
at the end of the day,
um,
I'm like, "Would I do it? I don't know.
right.
I'm not very good at
Um, it,
spells."
it might be something like if I really like something, maybe pick a year and just do the pattern rather than doing it in the year that I'm doing it. But
Yeah.
all that remains to be seen. I love this pattern. I like these birds. I want this beautiful array of colorful birds on my walls, so I will finish it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not fully convinced that an annual temperature style is my thing, which is fine, right?
Perfectly
Not
fine.
everything's for everybody.
It's very respectable.
So those are my whips. So Megan,
You
have you done any shopping recently?
I
Some
did.
investments, some
So,
purchases, some influencing of others to do. Sorry,
I
folks.
had been greatly influenced.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
I'll start with this bag that was holding all my goodies. Um, Michelle, the Chinook crafter, was watching her video one day and she said something about Heidi's homemade, Heidi's handmade, something. Heidi's something made. I don't remember the word. And I was like, oh, I should check them out. Like, maybe they're she's in Arizona. So
Okay.
not not ideal for me, like when we have Shiba Designs, which
Mhm.
is so close, and like, but I went on her Etsy page and I saw this bag and I was like, I have to
Purple
have
bats. You had to have it. You had to.
purple bats and a rainbow spider web. Like, come on. And then she also sent me these scissors.
That's nice.
Match. Yeah, very nice. And
Mhm.
some like floss drops, which I don't know where they are now.
Yeah.
They probably are in with my other floss drops. Oh no, they're right here. Oh, Heidi's homemade. There we go. See,
There you
that's why
go.
she sends. That's why she sends
Oh,
floss.
those are cute.
Yeah, they're little houses
Little houses. I
because
love
it's
them.
homemade. Very.
Mhm, mhm.
I did leave them in here. Wow, I'm so smart. And then I ordered some stuff from Jessie, like pictures. So she they do have all of the patterns. I got just these two. I didn't get the D's 21 because they only had the fabric for those two in 16 count Ada. So last time I checked, they still had all three fabrics in like linen and like other things. But for the
Mhm.
16 count Ada, they only had these two left. So for now, I just got these two patterns, which go with these. So I especially wanted this one just because I love this orange. And I just love these peacocks.
They're
They're
great
so
peacocks.
cool,
They're fantastic peacocks. Yeah.
right? They're amazing. And then this one, which you've already seen
Mhm.
Meg's finish up. I will do my own. And then I didn't get the dinky dyes, and I'm seriously regretting it now because I was like, I can get them somewhere else. But it's not going to be that much cheaper to get them from somewhere else. So I might just have to order more stuff and order them. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
They are, it's like a lot for us and then you add on shipping and stuff, but like
Yeah.
they're all
I
packaged already. Like there's the convenience factor. So
I hesitate to volunteer this because I don't know that the whole world needs to know, but I also purchased from Jesse, but I don't have it yet because it's being held until I purchase other things to cut
yeah,
down on what I like to call the Canada tax, which
yeah,
is the cost of shipping from America to Canada.
yeah,
Yeah. So, right, because for the like that basic cost for a package, you can fit a lot in there before that price goes up.
yeah.
So I've ordered, I don't even remember what I ordered. Jesse had a sale at the end of May in honor of their birthday. And so I made a purchase, which I guess it'll be a surprise when it comes. Uh, but my understanding is there will be a fabric release imminently. And so I wanted to wait because I will probably buy
But
some
then when you,
number of fabrics.
yeah, so like when
Mhm.
you check out, do you not have to pay for shipping then?
No, you pay for shipping, but then what Jesse will do is like the next time I buy something, well, after they've merged the things, they'll refund the shipping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But again, I don't want to make any assumptions that Jesse will do it just for anybody. So
I would probably just like just order a bunch of stuff all at once and then
yeah.
all right. So I was also in Germany and I wanted to buy cross stitch stuff. I also needed needles because I dropped one on the train and I was worried that I wouldn't have enough to stitch with, and it was fine because I still had.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that unopened pack of needles.
Obviously, I desperately needed these. They're also embroidery needles, which means that they're like sharp. Like I will use these. It's fine. I will use them, but I didn't really need them.
Yeah.
But while I was at the store, I also found, so this is like the German version of DMC. It's called Rico Designs. And they had ones that were like wrapped up like normal, like DMC, and then they had these ones which were like kind of different. It's still cotton. Yeah, it's still cotton, but they are kind of shiny cotton.
Yeah, like Cosmo is shiny as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm excited to stitch with these. I'm trying to find something where I can just use all of these colors together rather than like taking them out and using them separately. And then I was looking at some other stuff that they had, and they had these little kits, which are also with this Rico design floss. And it comes with, all your things. Flosses, very pretty.
Yeah.
And like 16 count Ada, another needle. And that's the design I chose.
That's really pretty.
And beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, that was my craft store purchase. I had to Google like I don't know if I Googled needlepoint store or like craft store or whatever, but it was basically like Michael's, like European.
German.
And so they had like paper crafts and they had yarn, like they had everything. It wasn't just a cross stitch store. But yeah, excited to start on those someday. I don't know how this box gets back there. Whatever, doesn't it? I think that's all I bought. Oh, and I have a bunch of digital. I have a bunch of digital patterns, and I keep forgetting to share my digital purchases. So I did go on a bit of a buying frenzy when I got home because I was no longer like I was like I had to save money for my trip. I can't buy anything, and then as soon as I got home, I was like, oh, tons of do whatever I want. So I did get the Pride bundle, which I can't really show you. Like, most people know
they raised over $15,000 with that bundle. So
this the one. That's the one.
That's the one you're gonna dive into. Yeah.
I already kidded it up. Yeah, there's lots of really good ones in here. I really like this mushroom. I really like this one, this zebra.
I love the trans zebra. I will be stitching that imminently.
Which, by the way, Michelle, Canadians don't say zebra. I don't know who told you that, but we say zebra. At least
I'm sure
we say
Michelle
zebra. There
Told
might be
herself.
Canadians who say zebra. I have never said zebra.
I'm sure she told herself that, and I love it.
I mean, British people say zebra, and we do have some Britishisms in our speech, but yeah, I've only ever said zebra my entire life, just for the record. But yeah, it was really funny when she's like, Canadians say zebra. It's like, who told you that?
Oh, and Miriam's bee. Yeah.
I love this. I have too many Miriam designs on the go right now, but it
Just add it to your queued up, Sal.
someday
Mm-hmm.
it will be the day that I will do it. But yeah, there's so many
Pattern.
reviews in there. I'm sorry if you didn't get it before the end of June. So, do you think they'll be releasing these separately?
I honestly don't know if they're meant to be exclusive or if people are releasing them individually. I don't know. But
And I also got influenced into the Carolyn Manning situation. So I got
that
this
everybody's part of. Yep. Yep.
I
That's
like
really
this one.
pretty.
Yeah, especially because it's different. Each
Mhm.
square is different, and I could also just do them separately.
Yeah, you could pick and choose. Yeah.
And then I also got this one, which is more of like a
That's
pattern.
a mandala.
Color.
Yeah. It's really pretty.
And she was having a sale, so I was like,
Mhm.
if I'm gonna buy some, I'll buy some right now. I got flowers for Sylvia.
I got that one too, so I won't show that one again. I meant to start it in June and then June slipped away, so it is on the imminent list. Everything's on the imminent list. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna try to finish my merman before I start this
Yeah.
one. Which is why I started that one, because I was like,
Mhm.
I've had it kitted up for so long. I should just
Yeah.
And then I also bought Summer Breaker,
Summer Quaker. Mhm, mhm.
which I ordered. I ordered fabric that didn't come. Not the fault of the seller. I blame Canada Post. They hate me. I don't know
Mhm.
why. I don't know what I did to them, but sadly, I did not get the fabric that I wanted for this, so I could not start it on Megan's birthday, which we had planned to do. It's fine. So I have
Okay.
ordered replacement fabric from a different person who I have not had issues getting stuff from. Again, not the fault of the seller, only the fault of Canadian Post, Canada Post. But I also ordered like more stuff, so it'll come in a bigger package that will hopefully be
Yeah.
harder to lose. Who knows if I will ever see my fabric for Summer Quaker. Whatever. I'll figure out a way to stitch it. And then I also ordered Mama X. Yes. Mama Witch X Stitch.
Oh, you got. Okay, yeah.
I
That
was,
one I also need to stitch.
I was like, am I gonna do Mama Mondays too? Like Michelle does every Monday. She stitches. I also got them.
Oh, that one's really pretty too.
She has a lot of smaller ones, which would have been, quick and easy.
No.
I really like these guys.
Stitch the ones you like. Stitch the ones that you like. It's fine. Just stitch all the things. It's all good.
They're still like not huge. But...
No, it's a solid medium size. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not giant, but.
And then I also bought this one, which I also wanted for a while because it was released as a PDF.
Yay!
A PDF. And I was actually looking at this because I was like, oh, maybe I'll get that one up too. There's a lot of colors in this. It's very not big, but there is a surprising amount of colors in that little.
It's just lots of little bits.
It's the confetti, it's the flowers, and like the stuff by the house.
And like differentiating the sisters, right?
Different shades of, totally.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense, but I was just like, wow, I didn't expect there to be so many colors. So that'll be a little bit. I was like, oh, I'll just like quickly kit it up, and then I was like, oh wait, no, this is going to require a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Those were all my purchases.
Fantastic. Okay. I have a few things. I'm going to start with what I think is maybe my most recent purchase, just because it is on my phone. So I bought the Flowers for Sylvia pattern from D's20, but I also bought their Let's Make a Statement #3, which I had meant to bring. I forgot to bring my kit with me on this trip, or else it would already have been done. So queer liberation will not come from rainbow capitalism. It is beautiful and fantastic. I have it on good authority that I was the very first person to purchase the pattern.
Wow. I haven't got that one yet, but I will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
do them all.
this one is definitely getting stitched when I get home. This one, I just got to get it. And now that I will have 3 of them, I think that I'll start figuring out how I'm going to finish them and start putting it together. I bought, oh, that's another pattern I got. I didn't buy any patterns this month other than those ones. Oh no, I totally bought another one, which I forgot about. Let's see if I can pull it up really easily. Or maybe I didn't download it to my phone and only my computer.
You want me to Google it? Or
no, here it is. So I got from Fine Frog Stitching, I got it's called Chaos Bird. I am Chaos.
That's cute.
Yes, I am.
This.
So I'm gonna stitch that. But I also bought, they have stickers. So I got a sticker of Chaos Bird, and then
okay. I do know this designer. Yeah.
So I will probably buy and stitch this pattern as well too, but I really wanted to get the stickers while they had them because I love them.
Yeah.
I also recalled as I was looking to see for the Chaos Bird pattern that I also joined their Patreon because, oh my gosh, look what they did for their Patreon pattern this month. Right? That snake, that pomegranate. So I'm a member of the Patreon. I could not resist. So there we go. Just piling up the patterns faster than we can stitch them. I got my hand dyed by Rolanda flosses.
Really wow.
Bright set of colors, which is really nice. I love them a lot.
Those are nice. Very good for pride stitching.
Yeah. I will add them to my Rolanda floss monster, Rolanda floss monster, and I will be good to go. I got my bag of the month and fabric of the month from Kaylee Chen Stitch at the sewing shop. I got this cute bag, boxes, and I really like the pattern that she's used inside. So that's a really cute one. It's got a nice little pom-pom on it, and I love her bags so much. And so, every time I get a new bag, I should start a new project.
Yeah, I think that's how
it works. Then my fabric this month is this throwback 90s is what she has called it. And it is neon. Like, it is not coming across. It is neon. It hurts the eyes. I love it so much. So I have thoughts about what I might stitch on at least part of it, but it is a quarter yard, so I will have lots to work with. When we were at Stitch North, we had got a coupon from Shiva Designs to use after the fact. So I did make a bag order. I got this beautiful vinyl fronted bag with birds and butterflies and flowers on it, and then the inside fabric is snails. So I love that a lot. And then I also got, but I've already put it to use and now I've lost it, this hippopotamus bag.
So good.
I love those hippopotamuses. So
the birds.
I got those. Pardon?
And the Birbs.
The Birbs. And then Jen at Jasmine's Custom Bags she posts, like, she just makes bags and then she posts them for sale. And she posted this one, and I had to have it because I love these birds and dresses. So I have a Kaylee bag with the same birds and dresses, but now I have this one as well because I cannot resist those birds. And I love these bags. They have a little front pocket where you can put some of your stuff, and then a big one. This one is like twice the size as my other one. It's fantastic. And yeah, so those are my bags. And then I also am a patron of Deanna at Darlene Woodsy's Designs at the level where she sends you some little goodies in the mail 4 times a year. I think it's quarterly. So we got our first little package, and so she sent this cute little card. Well, hello there. And she wrote me a sweet note on the back. Thank you, Deanna. But I love this. And she sent her business card, which I also love because it's just a cute little, right? Like it's not that, but it's got a cute little quirky clicker, make it into a floss tag. Michelle G likes to point out that it is exactly 2 inches by 2 inches. So it could also be a very portable corner gauge. She sent us some floss drops. So I got owl and frog floss drops, which are very cute. And I will definitely be making use of these whenever I'm kitting up quirky Quakers. And she sent us a sticker. Now, I also made a purchase from Deanna. And so now I have 2 stickers. So Deanna recently released 3 new quirky Quakers. So the crab, the octopus, and the jellyfish. And so she had a limited number of kits where she also sent us these, I think they're calling them duets, the cottage garden thread. So each of these is stitched with 2 different colors. And so these have half the Hank skein, whatever is one color and half is the other. There's something amiss with the octopus. I think one of the colors was wrong. Like it just was a mistake in processing. So she is going to be sending the correct floss when she gets it. If you missed out on these from Deanna, Cottage Garden Threads is selling them, and it looks like Abby Totnut Stitcher is also going to have the
I saw that.
So there'll be lots of ways to get them, but I'm very excited to start and stitch these. You know, also imminently, because I have 2 stickers. My friend Megan can also have a crab sticker, so that's really exciting. I think that's it. At least what I have in front of me.
Did you get
probably also purchased more patterns. Like I purchased the Pride bundle.
Yeah.
I really need to keep a better track of my digital patterns. I have started using the My Notion app thing that Stitchy Nettie put together. So it's Notion. It's a web-based relational database program, but Nettie's been working on for months at this point, building a cross-stitch project, supply, stash, progress system using the relational database capabilities. And so she has that available for purchase. So you can go, like if you go to her Instagram, Stitchy Nettie, you can, on her Gumroad, you can purchase access to the template, right? And then so I have that, and so I've slowly been entering things in. I have not gotten to the point of entering patterns that aren't started yet. So it's a lot of work up front, but then once everything is in there, my favorite thing about this is going to be being able to look at a color of DMC and know which projects it's in, right? Because I don't have like a master set that I pull from and leave things in place. I put things into project bags. But then if I just need a little bit of a color and I don't need to buy a whole skein, I can just go plunk it out of there. So that is my most favorite thing, because some colors of DMC I have many very partially used skeins of, because I just buy a new one when I don't find it in my little DMC hoard. So I'm very much looking forward to that being a very straightforward process in terms of figuring out where things are at.
So. Yeah. That's definitely one of the highlights of it for me too. And also I really like the idea of being able to take pictures of my fabric and seeing it all in one place, rather than
you can shop your own stash, right?
Sort through my many bags. Like right now I have them organized like by color, and they're all in bags, but it would be really nice to be able to like narrow that down even.
And you can put in the dimensions of your fabric, so you can even tell before pulling it if it's even big enough for the piece that you're looking for, right? So that's really helpful too.
That will be very nice.
Yeah, so Nettie, thank you so much for sharing all your hard work with everybody else.
Hmm.
I will definitely say it is worth the dollar value that she has put on it. So go check it out. And then Nettie and I were also talking because I added in um, a I forget what they call them though, but like where I'm listing all my project bags and then I'm attaching my project bags to my projects as well, right?
Mm.
So I've added in another.
Oh, that's a good
Do they
idea.
call them database? I don't know. I forget. Clearly, I'm
Like a
not well.
list. Yeah.
But yeah, but right. So it's my list of things, and then it ties into the project. So then I know what bag to look for when I'm looking for a project.
Yeah.
But so Nettie and I were talking, and I suggested it might be fun in a few months from now when people have really like dug into it to like, set up a little stitchy Zoom time and share how we've all customized the Notion app. And so like learn from each other. I have no idea if it will happen, but I think it would be fun. So Nettie, I'm putting that bug back in your ear. If you're
Yeah,
interested. Yeah.
I still have to get it. I haven't got it yet because I've been doing other things. But yeah, I'm definitely getting.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
looks like it's definitely a great like resource and yeah,
Yeah.
organization template.
Yeah. It's fun. Just plunk things away there and now that it's up and going, I can look at it on my app on my phone really easily. Using the like doing it on your desktop from a browser is definitely the way to load the information.
Okay.
And once it's in there, search it in.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
point. I
yeah.
didn't even think
The
of it.
mobile app is just not as the mobile app is a little clunky to use. So
Yeah.
the
Like it's
data is
good to
much
look at,
better.
but not yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
Okay.
my one tip on that.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have even thought of that because
I mean, Nettie suggested it to me because I was like, I went in there and I was a little confused. She's like, oh no, it's way better on the desktop. And then I was like, oh yes, it is way better. So yeah. And Nettie was also going to, I'm not sure if she has posted it yet, but film just a little like how-to video um, to right for anybody who's maybe not familiar with relational databases or just wants a little how to use the template. So if that's not up yet, I'm sure she has it in progress. So that's something to look forward to. Okay. In terms of plans, I am going to keep up with my temperatures. I'm going to stitch my July natural world. I am probably going to continue stitching on my transcribed tapestry and my summer Quaker. I'm going to start and finish Let's Make a Statement #3 by the time you next see us, and then maybe have some FFOs there as well. And otherwise, I'm just going to go where the mood takes me.
good.
How about you, Megan?
Well, I want to share some mail that I got first.
Oh, yes. Yes. Happy mail.
So I did exchanges with Helen and Michelle G for tarot cards. This is the card that Helen sent me. It's delightfully weird. And she sent me the Warrior of Pentacles from her deck of cards, which is really, really nice. Really beautiful.
Beautiful.
She wrote me a nice, she has amazing handwriting, by the
Great.
way.
Good job, Helen.
Yeah. And then she sent me needle minders. I got this one, which is a heart, and this one, which is a polar bear.
I love them.
And they have buttons on there. They're buttons. And she makes these.
Yeah. I also got my card from Helen, but I didn't bring it with me to share, so I will try and remember to share next time. But she sent me needle minders as well. I gave one forward to my mom because my mom didn't have a needle minder and she's loving it. And I got a heart as well and a button with cats on it.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I got from Michelle. So first she asked me my sign, and she sent me a Scorpio card, which is really nice. It's like 3D. It has. And she sent me the King of Swords from her trading deck, which was also really cool. And then she also sent me a needle minder. So this giant moth.
Fantastic.
It's huge.
Yeah, I love it.
Which reminds me of some of the things that I bought when I was away. So these are not actually needle minders, but they are magnets that have.
Okay. So you just need another magnet and then
Yeah.
it's a needle minder.
This one is from Zurich.
Nice.
And this one is from Sweden.
I love them.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it just has like a little magnet on the back. So it's like the perfect size.
There you go.
To be a needle minder.
Nice.
So I have lots more needle minders. I'm going to need a new storage solution for my needle minders. And then, yeah, my plans. So my so there's 3 WIPCO calls this month because she pulled the free space. I didn't put anything on my free space this year because I've already bitten off more than I can chew. So one of the ones that we got called was on my board Quaker pumpkin. So my goal will be to do 10 hours on this, so I've started in the middle with this one, and I'm pretty sure I could finish that one in 10 hours and maybe start one of the little guys up there.
I think you could, yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's about halfway. I only did a couple hours on this so far. So.
Such a big piece of fabric. Yeah, you can totally finish and get going on other things. Yeah. I believe
this is like 18 count Ada, which is, considering all the other things that I'm stitching on linen and whatever, it's like going back to 18 count Ada, I'm like, yes.
And undyed, so it's just truly 18 count. Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna do some good, and I also have a much bigger Q snap now, so it'll be a lot easier to wield that huge piece of fabric. And then my other call was I had designated a square mermaids because I have a lot of mermaid projects, but I also now have a merman project, and it's my board, my rules. So it is a mer people square now. So that's why I started this one.
Yeah.
So this is technically already a WIPCO project. And I didn't talk about this fabric, but I will because it's a really good one. This one is from my Fangirl Fibers The Nightmare Before Christmas box, and it's 28 count even weave, and it's called Sally's Dream, and it's pink and blue, and it's trans pride colors, so that's why. Because I was originally going to put him on like a darker blue color, but then I remembered that I had this, and I was like,
no, it's a perfect choice.
So much better. Megan did hers on a pink and blue fabric too. So I'm going to work on Trans Merman a little bit as well. And then if I don't feel like doing a full 10 hours on him, I have many other mermaid projects I can work on.
You sure do.
I've already worked on It's a Mermaid Life by Tiny Modernist this year, and I did a lot of work on that. So I might get this one out because this is going to be a quick one to work on. And I've already done just sort of the top. But yeah, throw some more fishies on that one, a couple hours, whatever. And then I also, my original thought when Mermaid was called was that I really need to work on my Under the Sea Sal Frosted Pumpkin Citrate, because I haven't worked on it in a really long time. And I was like, maybe I could even just like power through and like finish it. I mean, I don't know if it wouldn't be 10 hours, but I could just do it. I could just finish it. Here. So this is the completed design. And
you're like half-ish? Maybe a little more?
More than half. Oh look, there's still needles with thread on here.
Oh, you're more than half.
I'm not that far behind actually looking at it now. So yeah.
And honestly, if you wanted to, you could probably skip the border and it would still look completed.
I might do, if I do that, because I'm not wild about the part that says Under the Sea, but I might just do the anchors across the top.
Oh yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
like them and I think they look cool. And then I just
Mhm.
wouldn't need to like do the rest, right? Because I do kind of like the anchors, but do I want to stitch them 4 times? Maybe not. Maybe I'll just want
Yeah,
to at the
right.
bottom,
And they're integrated at the top, but at the bottom it's its own thing.
just
But
leave it
you could
off.
even do the anchors and just bring those lines down the side and have the bottom of the ocean be the bottom of the pattern,
Yeah,
right?
could do that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because yeah, I don't. The part where it says under the sea, I didn't stitch it. It was already part of that clue, and I was just kind of like, I don't like this. And I was
Yeah.
gonna do it in like a different color, but now I'm like, maybe I just don't do
Mhm.
it at all.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
might work on that one. Those are my whip goes for July.
Mhm. Fantastic.
And then I'm gonna try to keep up with my Treasure Island Sal
Mhm.
and work some more on my natural Sal. And maybe do some more dragons.
Those are good plans.
I am excited for it. Or I
Mhm.
might just like finish that one square and then like leave it until like the sequel comes out in November and then work on it again. Because
Yeah.
I'll be thinking about it again. Who knows?
Yeah. Fantastic. Which is only in November.
Yeah. Like 4 months from now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mhm. All right. Well, I have to get to work. So I
Yeah. What time is it?
think I have a meeting in 10
Okay.
minutes.
All right. Well,
So
this is
it's
fun.
cutting it quick.
Yeah. This is what we get for having jobs and not
Yeah.
being full-time Flosstubers.
Yeah, right? Maybe someday. I don't think I actually want that. I like, yeah.
Anyway.
We are going to be filming a
Whip
Flosstube anniversary whip parade, kind of. We're going to go through all the projects that we showed you in our first whip parade. So we won't be showing things since then, and just sort of saying if they're done, if they've been ditched,
Yeah.
or where we're at. And so look forward to that a little bit later on in the July, and then we'll be back early August probably for our like regular monthly updates. Mhm.
Okay. Thanks for
Okay.
watching. If you made it this far, we appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks everybody.
Yeah.
If you like what you see, if you're a first time viewer, the subscribe button is down below, as well like our Instagram handles and that sort of stuff. So check out if you want to see more from us. And thank you to everybody who returns every month. We appreciate you. And yeah, we will see you in a couple weeks.
In a couple weeks. Bye.
Bye.